Hey friends, it's Mari here. I just wanted to start off here by showing you the inspiration that I used for my project today. I'm working on a page in my December album, and I used that example on Pinterest as my inspiration for what I wanted to do for the interactive envelope that I'm going to be using as a page insert in my album. So I'm going to start off here with this craft paper, and you can see here that I used my Stampin' Up! Envelope punch board to create this envelope that's about 5 by 5. I wanted both sides of the envelope to be finished, and so I just cut a piece of craft paper to cover the side that has the flaps. And I'm just using some really strong double-sided tape here to tape this on. And I'm just going to get that adhered onto the front. And then I wanted to finish off this side with a stamp. And so I'm using this Carabelle Studio stamp here to do this. I'm just showing you here that I got this stamp for half price. These stamps are really expensive. They're amazing quality. They're rubber. These things are made in France, I believe. Really, really great quality. And I was in a shop that was selling all of their Carabelle stuff at half price. And so I picked this one up, and I'm going to stamp this out using my Misty with some Simon Says Stamp white pigment ink. And I don't know if you've ever stamped white on craft before, but it does create a really neat effect. I actually could have gone one step further and I could have heat embossed this with white ink. I didn't do that, but that is a thought if you wanted to try this. I'm using the My Favorite Things Stylish Snowflakes dies, and I've just die cut these with some white textured cardstock, and I'm going to use some of these to embellish my envelope. I cut a whole bunch. I'm not going to use them on this project, but I thought while I was cutting them, I might as well cut a bunch and then just have them on my desk for my December album. Now I'm taking a strip of patterned paper to embellish my envelope here, and I couldn't really see in that Pinterest picture exactly how they had finished their envelope, but I wanted mine to match with the other papers in that and the color scheme that I'm using in my December album this year. I think that this pattern paper maybe is from the Fa La La collection, or maybe it's Merry Days. I'm not really sure. I just took this scrap that I had cut for my album last year that I had in my box, and I'm just going to use this as a strip here, and I'm going to cut this other paper. This one is actually from the Snowflake 6x8 paper pad, and I'm just going to cut that and create a little scalloped edge embellishment for this strip. Now I wanted to trim down the flap and then do some embellishing on that flap as well. So I'm going to use another piece of that pattern paper, that same paper, to create a little bit of embellishing on the flap. And then I'm going to cut another scallop piece and I'm going to put that on the flap as well. That's going to create a little bit of an extension for that flap, make it nice and square, and it's just going to make it easier for me to do all the embellishing that I want on this envelope without that really long flap hanging down that was on there before. So you're just going to see me here using that double-sided adhesive here and there again on this project just to make sure that things are stuck down really nicely. I'll use another little bit here on this little scallop piece and remove that release paper off the back, stick that down, and I really like how this is looking. This for me is the most fun part of creating my December album, is all of these little fun interactive bits that you can add in. You know, you just can go onto Pinterest and find a zillion examples of what people have done and then adapt it so that it works for you. I mean, I definitely changed some things about this and made it my own and used what I had, obviously, to work with my project. Now that Fa La La die cut is from a Simon Says Stamp die that I had in my stash, and you can see now there that I embellished the center of that snowflake with a snowflake shaped brad. I have about 10 kajillion brads in my stash, tons of Stampin' Up, like really cool antique looking brads and some really pretty sparkly ones and like a lot of brads. So it's really handy when you're working on a project like this. Just like this paper here, this vellum paper with the silver snowflakes. I'm pretty sure this was a Stampin' Up paper. And I am going to just take my vellum adhesive and stick that on there once I have it sized down. And I also did a little strip of sewing on the side. Now I'm just going to hole punch this page. Now what I did here was I just cut a piece of white cardstock in 8x6 and covered it with that vellum with the silver snowflakes and sewed down the side, and now I'm just hole punching it so that it's going to be a page, an insert page into my book. And I'm looking at this here and trying to decide what else I want to do to embellish this. I decide that I'm going to get this envelope stuck down with more of that double-sided adhesive, and I'm going to place it closer to the bottom than the middle or the top. I just kind of like it placed down lower. I think it looks interesting. And then it leaves a spot at the top for another one of those die cut snowflakes. So now what I'm going to do is take a piece of that dark green pattern paper and do a little liner for my envelope just so that it looks nice when you open the envelope. And I'm going to also do a little embellishing with some silver glitter cardstock that I have in my stash. I just cut a little strip of that. I put that really strong adhesive on there again, and pardon me. You know, glitter cardstock sometimes can be hard to stick down. And so I just wanted to make sure that I had that really strong adhesive on the one side. So I'm really liking how this is looking. I think it's a really neat little insert. What I'm planning on doing with this insert is this is going to be for baking. So my daughter and I are going to be getting together this week on Thursday to do some Christmas baking, some holiday baking, because I'm going to be away for the kind of the middle section of December, so I won't be able to do that then, and I didn't want to miss doing that with her. So she's a nurse and she just finished, I think, 4 nights, and we had a plan that we would be going shopping on Friday and then doing some baking on Thursday. So this particular envelope and insert is going to be for the opposite page where the photos are going to go of the baking, and I thought it might be fun to stick a few recipes into this envelope as well that match up with the baking that we're going to be doing on this particular day, and that'll be just a really fun little keepsake for someone someday. So what I did was I hole punched a piece of that cardstock, or not hole punched, but cut out a circle of that cardstock again, and I'm just putting a brad in the center of it. This brad is a silver glitter brad. Yes, Stampin' Up. And I'm going to punch a hole through my flap on my envelope and put the brad through the hole, and that is going to help me put some twine around that little circle area for a fastener for this flap so that it can fasten to the front of the envelope. So I'm just going to open up the ends of that brad so that that's nice and secure, and then I'm going to create another little circle fastener on the front of the envelope with another piece of craft cardstock cut in a circle. I put a smaller little brad there. I just didn't want another one of those great big silver brads in this bottom one. The bottom brad I think is kind of like an antique looking tiny one. I just thought that looked neat with the craft paper. Now I'm just taking some baker's twine that has a little bit of silver thread in it because I thought that looked neat with all the silver accents on this page. I'm going to wind that around the top circle brad, and then I'm going to wind it around the bottom, and it will keep that flap closed. And then that is going to be it for this interactive page. I'm going to actually finish the page that is opposite this in my page protectors so that all I have to do with the page protector opposite this is insert the photos. So you'll just see me here. I'm going to finish this off with a little sticker that says, I think it says merry making or something like that. And the season for making merry, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, and so I'm going to put that in my album. You can see how it looks really nice. It coordinates nicely with the different colors and whatnot. This page is a little bit different. It's like a lot brighter, but that's okay. It's fun, and I still really like it. Now, I wanted to finish one of the papers on the left in the 4x3 pocket with a sticker, and the one sticker that I finish it with kind of goes along with the black sticker that's on the right about merrymaking. Anyway, that is my layout for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you were inspired. Go check out some things on Pinterest. Take a look at my December daily or my December album playlist on my channel here. I'll leave it linked below. There's lots of more inspiration from other years from my December albums for sure. If you're looking for ideas, this is one of my favorite projects of the year. I'm so happy that I had time this year to do this. I'm just putting a little note, a little sticky note on these pages here just to remind myself of what I want to document on those pages. And you can see here that I'm going to also just add another sticky note to this page, just reminding me that this is for the tree decorations, pictures, and that's going to be it for me today. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing day, and I hope to see you here soon. Bye-bye.